Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we are going to be talking about what two subjects I think are the most beautiful subjects in the entire world. Now, if you've been watching, you can probably guess what those are. But I'm going to go into reasons why they are the most beautiful subjects in the entire world, or universe for that matter, in my opinion. At the start of every school year, I talk to the students and I start with, "You are the luckiest people in the entire world to be in this classroom." And they're like, "This chick is full of herself." And I'm like, "No, don't judge, don't judge. It's not because I am the best teacher in the world," which, you know, there is no proof that I'm not yet. I tell them, "You are lucky not because I'm the best teacher in the world, but because you get to learn one of the most beautiful subjects in the entire universe." And they're like, looking at me like I'm crazy again, but for a completely different reason. Then, inevitably, there is a person who always tends to have my back, which is the person that I choose as my favorite student. They ask the very important question that everyone should ask all the time, which is, why? And that one-worded question is exactly what makes math and science so beautiful. Math and science are designed to answer a lot of our whys, like, why is it more efficient to use a cylinder to hold soda instead of a cone? Why do I get less dizzy when I stand in the middle of a merry-go-round than when I do on the edge of a merry-go-round? How should I design the layout of my house so that I can maximize the efficiency of it because I don't have very much space? Why do selfies look better in some lights than in other lights? Why do my armpits smell so bad when I get nervous? Why do we even get nervous? Now, math can't answer all of these questions, but where math is lacking, that's where science comes in, and it's its little buddy and helps it answer all of our whys. If you ask a question, I can almost guarantee that you can find an answer using science or math. Some people will argue that you can't use science and you can't use math to prove miracles and these phenomenons and stuff like that, which, you know, whatever. That's why I said almost all of the questions can be answered with science and math. Now, you may have to use some really twisted manipulation to make things work using science, like if you want to know if somebody's a witch, you just weigh them against a duck to see which one weighs more. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But you can almost find an answer to anything, which is what's so great and so beautiful about math and science. And being a person who wants to know the whys of everything, why everything works, why everything is the way it is, I cannot help but find this absolutely beautiful and wonderful and amazing. The second reason that math is so beautiful, and it's actually really wonderful for me while I'm here, is that math in every language is the same. Now, I'm not talking about like the postulates and the theorems and the names of certain things, because those are going to be different in different languages. But who needs geometry anyway? Actually, you need geometry for a lot of things. It's actually really important. I just never enjoyed it when I was in high school. Or in college, for that matter. But it's really, really, really important. Anyway, you can go to another country and you may not speak any of their language, but if you throw out some numbers, you have at least one thing in common. You can communicate through at least one means. Being in Korea, I'm really blessed to be able to teach math because a lot of my students really struggle to speak English, and I like to build a lot of connections with my students. It's a way for me to gain respect with them and to build a rapport and to help them to do better is by having a relationship with them. But since there is this communication barrier between us, I'm really lucky because I get to teach math. I get to use numbers and throw them up on the board, and I can underline and circle and point to things and repeat myself over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And eventually they can understand me. We might not be able to speak the same things, and when they have a question, they might talk to me in grunts, and I might respond to them in grunts, but by pointing and writing those numbers out on the board and going step by step, my students can understand me, and we can communicate with each other using math. It's so awesome and it's so beautiful because you can go anywhere and you can talk to anyone. Kind of. In a very broken way. Now let's move on to the third reason, and the final reason of this. There are a lot of reasons why math and science are the most beautiful subjects in the entire universe, But I'm not going to get to all of those right now. The third reason why math and science are the most beautiful subjects in the entire universe is because they allow you to be creators. Yes, you can create art and you can create stories and you can create movies and you can create all of this absolutely wonderful stuff without using math or science. But the thing is that in each of those things you are using math and science. That is why a lot of times people will say they have it down to a science. It's because it's actually using science, and it could be using math. With these subjects, we have been able to go to space, we have been able to build pyramids, we have been able to live longer or shorter. We have learned how to make the perfect apple pie. I love pie! We have learned how to make so many awesome, actually in awe, some things. I love it. I love math and I love science. And relatively speaking, I'm actually not very good at either of them. But that in itself is actually a beautiful thing, because I get to continue to learn. I get to continue to learn more and more. And as soon as I understand why something works, it opens a whole new door of things that I didn't know, and I get to find out why those things happen. And because I know why those things happen, my brain just explodes. I get to learn more and more and more and get to see more of the beauty in this earth because of math and science. So as long as I'm not very good at either of them, which will be my entire life because I will never be able to learn enough to be good at it, in my opinion. So I'm going to continue to learn and learn. As long as I continue to do that, I am going to probably continue to think that math and science are the two most beautiful subjects in the entire universe. And if you look at math and science in these ways, can you blame me for thinking that they are the most beautiful? So my question for you today is, what do you think is the most beautiful subject? Because I'm sure some of you are going to disagree with me and not be as geeked out and as in awe of math and science as I am. So what is your favorite subject and why? Please let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. I will know by you liking it or subscribing to my channel or leaving a comment below. You can also follow me on Tumblr or Twitter. My hope is that I can shed a little bit of light, a little bit of joy, a little bit of peace, or a little bit of happiness on your part of the world and in your life. I don't know if I've accomplished that, but it sure does bring a little bit of joy and happiness to my life to be able to share what I find so beautiful and so wonderful with you guys. And until next time, I will see you when I see you. In unrelated news, look at what I bought today. I may have had like half of the jar already. And I have way too much energy. A grown adult should not eat this much sugar.